to the minutes of the prior council meeting. Not that will stand approved as written. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to address the council on any item that is not on the agenda? Yes, Susan.
I have a couple things. One is I wrote you that grant for the weed, to get Chip to get his motel room and stuff like that, and you got the entire amount that was asked for. So, that should come, you should have, I don't know, they voted on it yesterday, so I don't know if you guys have heard that yet, so you did. And, I have, we've been having some real issues with the agenda getting published, so I did photocopy the Montana law. You all swore an oath that you would have it published. It's recommended to be published on your website. It hasn't been on your website since April 9th. Your minutes haven't been up since March 26th. And I have been reminding little squirrels to make sure it's published by Friday at noon, and I have been told to stop reminding them. So, you want to know what the law says? I made one for all of you, but I'm not reminding you.
Okay, I'll put you on speakerphone.
You're on your own. So,
Jody? Hi, I'll put you on speaker. Okay,
I missed that, Susan. What was that now? The minutes?
you have not been publishing your agenda in a timely manner according to Montana law. It's also should be published in 3 places or posted in 3 places. You may use social media, but you should absolutely use your website as your first choice.
Okay.
And your agenda has not been on the website since April 9th.
Oh, okay.
And your minutes haven't been up since March 26th, which is also important that, although people can come in here and ask for them, but you have minutes accessible to the public on your website.
This does say or posting.
It does say or social media, but I think if you look up at the top and see where your policies were, I don't know where your policy is, but I'm pretty sure your policy was in 3 places because it used to get posted at the library, it used to get posted on the store, and it used to get posted on social media. And it used to get posted on your website. So I don't know what your policies are. I was going by the past practices.
Okay. I'll take care of that. Committee reports. Library.
We have public.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Just waiting to make sure I didn't.
Looking down on
We talked to you guys a couple months back about leasing part of the lots down on, what is it, Wheatland Avenue?
Wheatland Avenue.
Yeah, next to Wheatland. We spoke with the woman about the floodplain page. It sounds like that's not going to be an issue for us, that we think that it's going to be okay to bring it up to grade and.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Same grade.
There's some fill, but
Not
not a lot.
extensive.
So we would like to proceed with trying to set up a lease agreement and taking that to the next step. And I don't know exactly what those steps are, but we figured at least starting here and letting you guys know that, yeah, that's still gonna work for us.
Okay. Now, you have to bring that up to the same grade as,
Basically, the northeast corner of those lots are there.
Closest to
Or,
the west.
yeah, the closest to Cream of the West is high enough,
Oh,
and
okay.
we'd have to bring, just match to that, basically.
And we don't need, like, we wouldn't need to fill in the whole space.
The whole space would not
I
get
think
filled.
what we realized is it just turning the direction of the building would make it a pretty small footprint to have to bring up to grade.
Okay. And did you want both lots or just one?
I think both,
I think both.
just, if you ever did expand, you could.
Yeah.
You could.
You know, you'd have to do some more fill and whatnot, but.
And I guess I haven't been out there to look at exactly where the split in the two lots is, so.
Are we dumping any extra fill from anything there, like in these sewer projects? or-
Not at the moment, no, we will be.
Well, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
it would be a great place
Yeah, we just dump some in.
Dump some waste to fill.
Yeah.
So are they gonna come show you exactly where to dump it, so we don't have to move it more than once?
Whoever does it, I'll talk, but we'll just kind of go off the ends of what's already.
Yeah, we could get a transit out there and get some elevations and stuff. I imagine we would do that.
would Probably be the easiest way is just to flag it all off,
Okay.
dump inside the flags.
Yeah, and I mean, and once we get to a point of construction, it would probably have to get moved, but that would be more on us than
Yeah, we would-
getting it.
I have
Yeah.
access to equipment.
Okay. We'll have to put you on the agenda for next time so we can vote on it since it's not on the agenda tonight. But I'll have the council think about ideas of what a fair price for lease would be, and we can hash that out at the next council meeting.
Okay, yeah, and that was more just trying to understand what the next steps were. So if that's the next step, then that's great, we can
Yeah,
reconnect.
because we can get you into a lease pretty easy on that.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay,
Should we just plan to come back for the next meeting?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, okay,
cool.
thank you.
and then we'll have it on the agenda where we can discuss prices and vote on it. So.
Okay. If there's anything that we need to come prepared with,
He's taller than me.
let us know.
You all have my phone number.
Okay, committee reports, library.
Nothing new to report, but Tina's just on the next agenda about the sewer, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and then I guess she wants a little bit of that House bill money, so we'll talk to that when we talk about that when we get down here to the discussion on it. Okay, ordinance committee, we haven't met for a while. Pool committee.
Well, so far, everything's been going pretty smooth, except for last week. The handrails on the diver board broke,
Oh, really?
yeah. So I pulled it out of service, and I got Kevin Knudsen coming down. What it is like a flat piece of metal with a piece of pipe that the handrails slide on.
Oh, okay.
So I told Kevin, he come down and we looked at it. I wanted all four, I like to have them built out of stainless steel, but these were made out of steel. They lasted longer, I don't know how long it's been there, but a long time. But I told him I wanted all new bolts put on it and everything, so it'll be, he said he should be down there tomorrow, have them built. It's just like a piece of flat iron with a pipe welded onto it, just but I don't think you can buy them handrails like that anymore. But he's gonna repair it, and other than that, I think everything's been going pretty smooth. They're having a little trouble with the heaters, and I told her to get hold of Thompson Pool. They're getting a penalty on one of them.
Oh,
So, a code, so I told him, I don't wanna touch them. I just soon have them touch them, know what they're doing.
yep.
Other than that, it's been
Okay.
fairly busy.
Tree board.
Nothing to report other than we need to get some new members.
Do we need to advertise that again?
What you do is just run.
What's that,
Just lost Ron?
and Lexi.
Oh, that's right.
Any ideas? Anybody wanna be on the tree board? Back there in the,
I volunteered the first time, they didn't want me. There were applications that came in first time.
we get around and ask some people, see if we get any tree board.
Got to ask Sarah. I don't remember.
Okay. Alrighty, rail trail, we haven't got a councilman for that yet, so I think we ought to wait until we get a little more activity going on down there before we do that. Okay, is there any public comment on the committee reports? Okay, moving on, updates on the decay ordinance complaints, discussion of decay ordinance complaints and updates. Did we get any new pictures in or anything? Has anybody seen any new ones?
Just in the couch?
No, and that's down there.
Well, I don't, I sent some pictures to Sarah, or my wife did, of Chance Miller's over there.
Oh,
Cause I cleaned out a giant piece of that up.
yeah, that really looks
It's
good,
good.
just driving by on the highway.
There's still more to go, but the public view of that one section is way
It
better.
looks good.
Good job, yeah, it really looks good. Okay, any updates on, gotta have public comment on updates of the decay ordinance complaints. Apparently I've been doing this wrong for 6 years, I guess we're supposed to have a public comment on just about everything that comes down the pipe.
No one else knew that.
No, still with us.
Okay, updates on previous discussed items. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Okay, moving on, new business. Approve the road closures for the Harlow Music Project as well as the Harlow Horizons and galleys to the Oasis. Community barbecue and Memorial July 20th from 1 to 3. That'd be Harlow Horizons. I'm not sure when the music festival or music project is.
It's August 10th.
August 10th.
Okay. Is there any public comment on that proposal?
Does this include that one that we got a consensus on for the 4th of July?
That was for the barbecue.
That was for
That was
the,
for the-
that was for the barbecue.
That didn't happen, yeah, the car show barbecue.
It didn't happen?
Well, the car show.
Car show did the
The
barbecue.
barbecue did.
Oh, okay, I just
Yeah,
just
that
trying
was
to keep
the
up
second.
on, because we said we couldn't vote it at that time, but we just, because it's so short notice, we were gonna vote on it at the next meeting, so I'm just curious.
That's, yeah, that's.
Then, I mean, it went off without a hitch. I mean, it was closed and everything was good, so.
Okay, on the two forms that I had that were given to me, one has only a signature on it, the other one has some information. Is that the two that we're talking about here? Trying to keep up.
Okay,
I make a motion, we approve it.
okay.
Street closures.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to approve the street closure, the road closures for the Harlem Music Project and also Harlowton Horizons. All in favor? Opposed? Motion's passed unanimously. Okay, resolution on all bank accounts and combining for easier banking. Jody,
Hello there, how are you?
good, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I just got back from Cut Bank, so you're catching me right at the end of my day.
Oh my
But
God.
the reason that we want to recommend this, I guess, is having that many bank accounts. You can account for that all in your accounting under one bank account, which would make it a lot easier on the clerk not having to take care of. I think there's 12 bank accounts there. It would just be like in your accounting, it looks like separate bank accounts, but all the money's together. Where number one, you'll earn more interest, but number two, it makes it easier on the clerk.
Okay,
So, not having that many bank accounts. She had to be gone today, so she would like to do this at the next meeting. We will present the resolution.
okay.
to have all the bank totals if that works for you guys.
I would have a question about that, Jody.
Okay,
Do we don't have to have a separate account for like our water projects and things like that?
no, you have to just be able to show your accounting in it, and I started showing Sarah, and we'll work through this even more. You can create different accounts and funds within your accounting without having a separate bank account.
Okay, that sounds good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that's gonna make our banking a lot easier to get all of these accounts
Yeah.
into the general.
Yeah, that was a lot of paperwork.
I know we talked about this when Debbie first started.
Yeah.
She wanted to do that, but I think we were waiting for the audit to be done.
Yeah.
We were talking about when Laura was here.
Oh, okay, even that, okay.
Okay, Jody, I think that's, we'll, put that on next meeting's agenda to let Sarah get, a little more information on it, and, then we can act on it, next meeting. Is that okay?
That's perfect. We'll have the resolution ready and everything for you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in.
Oh, you're welcome. Did you want me to stay on for the House Bill 355, or are you guys okay with that?
That's coming up next, so. If there's any public comment on the resolution to close all bank accounts and combine them?
I understood water and sewer projects that got separate as well. So I think maybe.
What was the question? I couldn't hear that.
Others would know, or maybe Dan Clark would know.
Can you get closer to the phone, Susan, and say that
If
again?
the auditors would be confirm it, or maybe Dan Clark from the local government could confirm that. I understood sewer and water had to be kept separate as well.
Okay, did you hear that, Jody?
No, can you repeat that just real quick? I heard something about the auditor.
She had, Susan Bealey's talking, and she was saying that, she understood that the water and sewer accounts had to be kept separately.
They have to have a different fund in your accounting, but they don't have to have a separate bank account.
Okay.
So any money that is brought in through your water bills, in your sewer bills, those go into those separate funds in your accounting. And I can present that, Susan, at the next meeting if you'd like to see how it looks. But then I did talk to your auditor now works for Strawman Associates, so we did call them and ask them, because Cascade, where I'm from, actually had too many bank accounts, and they had us close them and do the same thing that we're recommending for you.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same auditor that your auditor Sharon now works for.
Right.
That is recommending this. We did talk to them about it, and they did recommend closing it down to make everything easier for everybody.
Okay. All right, we will discuss that a little further at the next meeting, so.
Okay, and I'll present how it looks so you guys can see where everything's just broken down easily for you to see.
I can barely hear her.
It's right, broken down.
Show have it broken down next week for you guys to see.
All right, sounds good. Okay, number 3, discussion on House Bill 355. Discussion of projects, Bob, to bring some ideas. This is that free money we got from the state that we have to spend on pretty much anything we want to spend it on. So, Bob's got a list.
I thought it was supposed to be like water and streets and stuff like that, wasn't it?
Well,
It has to be spent on infrastructure.
yeah, or previously installed stuff.
Is this that money we were talking about sealing some streets with?
What's that?
Is this the money we were talking about doing some seal on the streets with?
HB talks about
No.
local government infrastructure, water system, sewer, fire suppression,
That's the list. What
potable water system, streets, roads and bridges, landfills, street lights, and public grounds and buildings.
Grounds and buildings.
Okay, public grounds and buildings, yeah.
He said streets, roads, public grounds and buildings.
Yep,
And it can be used to replace existing equipment.
right, yep.
How much money do we have?
900 and some thousand.
900 or 90?
90.
90,000.
I was like, whoa.
I can look it up for you really quick.
Bob had the
What was
building.
that, Joey?
I'll look it up for you really quick for an exact amount while you guys talk.
It was 90-some thousand.
Yeah, 93. I wish it was 900.
But this was that money that we were talking about sealing Main Street again,
No.
chip sealing. That's not the same money.
That's grant money.
Gas tax money. What do you got for us, Bob?
So my first and most important is UV bulbs and ballasts again, but we talked about putting that into the budget. I don't know if that ever happened. Cause we're looking at 30,000 a year just for that.
And we just replaced them, what, here about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago?
That was before, must have been January,
Would you say we're good for 18 months?
on bulbs, but now today we had to replace 6 ballasts. Those are $1,200 a piece. So just back to what I'd said before, we need to budget 30,000 a year just for that. Whether it comes out of part of this or out of the general fund, however.
Okay,
Then my next item was a roller, that old orange roller we've got. It's caught on fire several times. Every time we use it, breaks down, we have to fix it. I called around and I found one for $25,000 in Billings.
You got a little bit bigger than the one we got?
Yeah, I've got a picture of it here. Pass that around. So right now the machine's sitting in South Dakota. He said they're gonna go through it all, whether we buy it or not. But it's got 712 hours on it. It's a 2017. My next item is I'd like to purchase a storage container from Tom Keating. Put out at the lagoon to put all our UV lights and bulbs, just all of our accessories in. Talked to Tom today, he said that would be $5,700 for a new one. He said he could sell us a used one for $1,000 less, but he would not guarantee that the doors would shut like they should.
Is that a 20-footer?
Yes.
Well, you told me about the new ones is, they're used once, and then they sell them.
Is 20 foot gonna be enough room? So we can do a 40 footer probably for that, same price.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty close too. I don't know,
Through Tom?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's pretty close. It might be a used one too, but that price is close in that 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe talk to them
We can
again.
check into that.
Get a quote on them 40 footers.
Okay. Next thing is a V-plow and a skid steer for snow removal. We have one, but Kevin had to weld it. He said it's a one-time weld job. We got a price for that. $7,274. Next item would be a post hole auger for the skid steer. That's $4,200. That doesn't have to be. We can rent one if we need to. Laptop for the office. Jeff's laptop has seen its better days. I think it's almost 9 years old. And Charlie's gonna need a new lawnmower for next season, but I did call and get a price. So it would be the same, it's a Toro, same brand that we have. That's $5,099. So just those items that I've mentioned are in the neighborhood of 80,000. Couple other items I would be in, we could use a new Honda generator for water breaks and a new water pump. A line locator, road mix, chips for, I figure about $1,500 for road mix and just different materials for bed and pipe.
What'd you figure on that locator? About $4,000?
You know,
You just ran out of money.
yep.
In the library wants a little bit.
That was for the sewer? For sewer?
For water, locating water underground lines.
Can we get a list of those items, Bob?
Sure. I didn't know if you wanted me to continue and try to get more before we presented that, more prices from other places. or-
Oh, that's fine, it would be nice to have a list to go back over as we ponder
Sure.
what we want to do.
Okay.
Are there any infrastructure ideas or just all equipment?
Well, if you do infrastructure, you're gonna get to do one item that's a partial, because they leak that up so fast.
Does all those sound feasible, Jody?
Some of it I'm not sure on. It has to be a replacement or a repair from what I understand. But the other part of this is that there's a 25% match on each individual thing. So you have to write, if you do one big project, it's 25% match, or if you do all these little ones, it's a 25% match per application. So each one of those things would be a separate application, and you would have to have that match for each individual one out of whatever funds you pay for those things for.
Okay.
And you have $93,057.
Can I throw in a couple things? This actually was supposed to be done or given out to the public by December 31st, 2023. And there is a list in the bill, and I doubt your laptop is gonna count, things like that. It says right here, eligible entities of government infrastructure that include drinking water systems, wastewater treatment centers, fire suppression systems, drinking water other than fire suppression, streets, roads, bridges, landfills, street lights, airports, public grounds, and public buildings.
Well, you can get that.
We use that computer for all of those every
Yeah,
day.
you can try, but it's not considered infrastructure.
You could probably get that through the
Infrastructure is
ARPA
bricks
money.
and mortar.
Could you add a couple?
You know,
Right.
Go
And
this is Jody. I was just going to say, if you use that money for something else that the computer would be paid for out of, if you do something else, then that frees up the money for the computer. So you can just change projects, and that would come out of the general water sewer because it is used out of everything. And then you can do something and free up that money to get a new laptop.
Oh, okay.
There's ways to figure that out.
that water thing, you fit exactly there. What you said about the water, all those water things, and your snow removal, that would,
That's sewer, but
yeah,
same thing.
very much would be your roads.
Okay, where are we gonna get this, match money from?
So this comes out of your funds, and so once you decide, if you want to send me, or one of you want to send me the list, I can review it with Sarah, and then we can let you know which ones are eligible, and we can look in your funds and see
Okay.
which ones you do have the match money for.
Alrighty. We can do that.
All right?
Okay. All kinds of stuff to send you.
Yeah, she and I have been in pretty close contact.
And all
So I'm going to get off the
that's
phone, so thank you, you guys. You guys have a good day.
Thank you, Jody.
Thank you.
application hospital, everything has to be approved. It's on the second page.
Right, that's why Jody's gonna send us a resolution.
Yeah,
next time.
December 31st this year, I think, is, yeah. Everything must be approved by December 31st, 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're,
okay. We'll get all that done.
Well, at least you can get some stuff replaced.
Okay, is there any public comment on the discussion on House Bill 355? Okay, moving on to Miller and Grant sewer issues. Well, you want to clue us in on what's going on here?
Well, I was kinda hoping they'd show up, because I have no clue.
Did you read their letter?
It's a hot letter.
Yeah, that's irrelevant, because it had nothing to do with the sewer project. And
Did everybody got a chance to read the letter from Lynn? And with the pictures and stuff? And I don't, well, I'm sure we didn't have the email from RPA on their thoughts on it.
so Paul was there with us when we met, and we met with Bill, who's the foreman on the sewer project, because first they said it was PEC's fault. So they showed the video footage of the sewer line. There's no private sewer line coming out that lines up with the house. It's not even on that street. So he says, there's no way we're at fault. You do the footage in front of your house from the end of the block and it doesn't match up. So then Stan Wilting came over and he said, well, I think it goes into a septic tank, and then they tied into the septic tank and ran it down the alley and over to F Avenue. So they watched the video footage for F Avenue coming out of the alley, nothing there. So then we got a line locator, and then I witched it, and we think it goes south out of the, so both homes share one sewer line. And we're guessing that it goes across private property and over to First Street Southeast, but the only way to prove that is to dig it up. Well, you're digging up the neighbors to prove that. So Jimbo's crew ran their snake in there and it balled up, and they're thinking it balled up in the septic tank. So then they were saying, well, we want reimbursed if it's in a septic tank. We've been paying into sewer all these years. Well, Stan Wilting says, well, I think you're still tied in from the septic tank to the sewer main.
And water's gotta go out somewhere.
And I said, well, let's run some dye and find out. You can't if it's plugged. So Aubrey Miller's not really having any problems per se to his home, but he does because he's tied in and he's sharing the line. He doesn't want his yard dug up. So to fix the solution, they're going to put in 2 new sewer lines going into Division Street. So I'm assuming they're wanting reimbursed for that, which
Yeah,
that's
pretty
not on
much.
us.
The letter said they'd take care of their yards, but they wanted reimbursed for some other things.
Yeah, and I don't see why they would have any grounds to do that.
Well, they said that the city let them put it in incorrectly to begin with. When was that done?
Before I was born.
Yeah.
If we do that, we're gonna remodel the whole town.
Right. So has Brent read the letter?
Don't know.
Brent?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think
Brent
that
should read
I think
that.
we should have our lawyer read the letter and see what he has to say.
Oh,
Well, before we jump that far, we need to figure out what these 2 people are wanting. We're only assuming.
Well, my understanding, they were gonna be here tonight.
So, yes, they said they were.
It sounded like what they wanted was in that letter.
We propose the city and PEC split the cost of the diagnostic to date and the excavating and attaching the lines to the main and division, including the cost restoring the street and curb. Of course, the city will waive assessing a new hookup fee, so we can each use one trench for both lines and don't have to excavate to attach to the hookup for my property already in place.
Well, I
Larry
guess-
and I will bear the cost of landscaping our front yards and sidewalk repair that is needed. And I will absorb the damages and clean up to my basement.
I can see waiving the hookup fee, but I
Isn't,
don't know how.
isn't everything from the main the homeowner's responsibility?
That's, yeah.
100% responsibility on sewer. For water, it's from the shut off.
But out of what he wrote there, I can see us waiving the hookup fee,
But why?
Who wants the city and PEC to share the cost on 98% of that? And he's gonna do his yard.
I'm saying exclude that, but if we're gonna charge a hookup fee for them to hook the sewer back up the right way,
They've already been hooked up.
they've already been hooked up and been charged for it, so we could just waive that. But they would be responsible for restoring the line new, you know?
Didn't they put a new sewer line down that street?
They just
Water
redid
line.
it.
New water line.
Just new water.
Well,
Is-
that, what you said makes sense. I really think Brent needs to read that letter.
Yeah.
And we need to hear back from Brent.
Well, we should hear from them.
Well, if we hear from Brent, then we'll hear from them, we'll go back and forth.
I talked to,
Brent, did you get a copy of
They
this
said
letter
they're gonna
from, Lynn Graham?
Yes, Mayor and Council, I did. I read through it, about 2 times. I guess one thought I had, if you'll allow me a minute here, is if we have not done so, I would suggest forwarding that to the MMIA for their review and suggestions. I was a little unclear how much the city would be asked to contribute. Is there a ballpark figure that you guys know of?
$800 is all we're gonna, give up. That's the 2 hookup fees for 2 new sewers coming out from their houses.
Yeah.
So it'd be 8.
Or 800.
16 total.
Yeah, 16 total, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that would certainly be within your deductible. I certainly think, and Lynn, of course, would totally understand, and I can't imagine not agree to this, but there would need to be a release provided that basically says, yeah, if we agree to this, the city's going to pay $800 or whatever it is, then that would be it, in a release that basically says, yeah, everything's settled, nobody's going to sue anybody, that sort of thing. But I would, and it's up to you guys, you make the call, but I would encourage either allowing me to forward it to the MMI and give them a call, or one of you guys doing that. I'm not trying to delay things or make it more complicated than necessary, but I did read through it, and the MMI could very well say, yeah, it's within your deductible, sounds reasonable to me. Make sure you get a release signed by everybody involved. My suspicion is that's what they'll say, but I would not be doing my job if I didn't recommend that. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
so the sewer's down the alley?
And if you would like, I'm more than happy to forward that letter to the MMI and talk to them and report back to the mayor.
Okay. I can forward you an email I got from RPA too.
Yeah, if you could do that, Mayor, that'd be helpful.
Okay.
And probably what they'll do is assign an adjuster, and that person will probably contact either you, Mayor, or you, Bob, or kind of, you know, the who, what, when, where, what happened kind of thing. But I also don't want to delay things either.
So just an
with your permission,
FYI,
I'll forward that on to the MMI and then give them a call.
the last time we went through that, it took 2 years.
Do we really need to claim this on insurance if we're just waiving a fee? It's not actually costing us $800. We're just waiving a
We're just
fee.
waiving the fee.
Yeah. Brent, it's not gonna cost us the $1,600. We're just waiving that connect fee for them to hook on there.
Okay. Yeah, and that's fine. I think you would still need a release that basically protects the city. But I can't imagine, Bob, that this is gonna take 2 years.
The last one did,
Unless you're
in fact,
talking
it's
about
not
a
settled
situation
yet.
where there was actual litigation. Because the MMI usually is pretty quick on this kind of stuff.
Who was the one?
But that's up to you guys. If you would rather me not do that, hey, that's fine too. I would just suggest some kind of release document that says what you're doing is the extent of your responsibility, and there will be no litigation filed against the city.
Okay. Yeah, we can draw something like that up.
Well, I certainly have a template I could use and draft something myself.
Oh, okay.
And if you could forward that email that you referenced, Mayor, to me, I'm more than happy to take a look at that. And again, a release is something I can't imagine that Lynn Grant would have an issue with. I'm sure they would understand that. If there's another property owner involved, obviously we would need every property owner involved to sign a release.
What's your email, Brent? I forgot.
It is B Brooks, so that's BBROOKS at, and I'll spell this out also, at axelonlaw.com, and Axelon is spelled AXILON as in Nancy, so it'd be Axelon with an L, law.com.
Okay.
What was that again? I just
Yes,
wanted to-
B Brooks, BBROOKS, at axelonlaw, all one word, .com.
Okay.
Okay, got it. It's on its way.
Thanks.
Okay, is there any public comment on the Miller and Grant sewer issues? Okay, moving on to discussion of theft of utilities. Charlie, is this one that you were talking about, the trailer over there by, yeah.
Across the street from Alana, where that church used on that big house.
Was there actually theft of utilities?
Well, they had to.
According to our ordinance, there is.
What's that, Bob?
I said, according to our ordinance, there is. If it's your own camp trailer, that's fine, but you can't set it up in the street and make it permanent like they did. They hooked up to the water and the sewer, blocked the street, had the slide out in the street.
I drove by there and looked at it. I don't know how he got it in there. Is it still there, or did he leave
No,
that?
it's gone now, but the other issue is the way you wedged it in between the boulevard. If there had been a fire, you'd have never got it out of there.
No.
Wasn't even hooked up to the pickup.
Wasn't even licensed. The trailers.
Oh, I didn't look at that.
Well, if we don't do something with no housing in Harlow, every person in town's gonna have someone living in their yard, hooked to their utilities. And as long as you're using it yourself, your family, it's no big deal. But if they're renting it out, they need to pay water and sewer.
I don't think they were charging him rent, were they?
It's their in-laws.
In-laws?
It was their in-laws.
Yeah. And I know that there's gonna be trouble down the road, like you say, because we don't have any housing left in Harlowton. And people are gonna be parking wherever they can find a spot to park. I don't think we got anything in our ordinance that says you can't do that, do we? Or is
State
that-
law says you can't tie up the city street.
Well, that's true.
But like John Major, Bob turned him back on and stuff like that, because he's working for, the auto shop up in the country for Jenkins,
Oh,
because he couldn't find any housing.
yeah, he is hooked up to water and sewer and paying it.
Yeah, he's legal.
Yeah, he did.
But I mean, like I said, as long as your own family's using it, like there should be, but when you start collecting rent, then I think that's for the utilities.
It'd be kinda tough to hook up sewer. I'm not sure how they got it hooked up over there. Did they have a clean out outside?
They
the
ran
house?
it through the basement window and into the house.
Yeah.
Or if you had if you have an outside clean out, I do. Stan puts outside clean outs in a lot of places. I have one.
Yep.
If you had an outside clean out.
Yeah.
It'd be easier actually to hook up to my sewer than it would be to my water.
Yeah. For private use, if you owned a camper, that's fine, but it is in our ordinance.
Right, I'm just saying, if Stan has been around and there's outside clean outs, it'd be very easy to just dump the hose down. Well, really, okay, no, Stan does not get credit, but a lot of homes in this town have outside clean outs. I think you have an ordinance that says you can't park a camper on the street or in the alley. What happened to that one?
I don't think it's
Seasonal.
happening.
Did it disappear?
It's seasonal.
Is this, it disappeared?
That's the newest one we came up with, we made it seasonal.
Yeah, that's actually enforced right now and will be enforced this winter, when the streets get nasty.
Okay.
Yeah, and in the winter.
I just know somebody was living in one across the street from the courthouse and that caused some issues. I didn't know it was seasonal. So what do you consider the season?
I think it was October to April, I believe. Is when we're not letting them, it's more about snow.
Right,
And
I
bus
understand.
routes and things like that. Trying not to step on people that have family come stay at a company and want to put them up in their camper.
Okay, is there any public comment on that discussion? Okay, moving on to discussion of the dog ordinance. I think I got a deal here. Sheila sent down. What we have to do is we gotta make an amendment to put 8.09.070, dogs causing annoyance or disturbance, into our ordinance 1-2019. Isn't that what you came up with, Susan?
Yeah, there's no, when you guys redid your penalties and did all your, for the ratings and the licensing and dog large, somehow the dog ordinance noise piece got left out.
See, and I remembered it being in there, so I don't know how that happened.
Well, I don't know, but if you, Jack's holding these right now, it's,
I believe you.
yeah, it's,
Tell me
and
why
then you can
specifically
find
remember
it,
it being in there.
you can find it if you go back to the old typewriter one. Isn't it on a typewriter, Paul?
Yeah.
You're holding it?
Yeah,
It's a
well, I
typewriter.
looked in the ordinance book and it is on one of the typewritten pages in there, but it failed to get put
So-
on to the amended ordinance.
So the problem is it's just not in the right spot.
Well, it appears that it was not adopted with the new resolutions for dog
We
things.
would have had to repeal it if it was an old ordinance.
Well, I don't know. That's a Brantford question.
Actually, it's probably gonna be a Municode question because they're gonna be going through all of them for us.
Right, and,
So-
right, it was coming up because of an issue right now, and the paper, I guess, came to a meeting, I wasn't here.
Would that ordinance include the typewritten portion and the amended portion, or?
Yeah, no, the fine is in there, isn't it?
Yeah, you're talking about dog causing annoyance and disturbance, right, trying to plead guilty by the owner or keeper of the dog. First offense is $50, second offense is $100.
But there's no code for it.
It says right here, well, the 809
Well, then we don't have that piece of paper. We don't have that page maybe.
I know that there's, in what we were sent, there's 3 pages on one, and then the back 2 pages on another. So if there's all 5 pages, and just say that on there.
Okay, I will
Unless
have
it's
Sarah
someone-
send us that again then.
And this-
We're
this-
missing pages maybe?
The new one did not alter the description in the paper. He just said it had altered the fines. But it did say in here that only what we're changing here, if it's in contradiction of something else, and this supersedes the other. But it did not replace, or did not take that out of
Yeah,
the original.
we don't have evidently two of the 5 pages. The court does not have them evidently. So I'll have Sarah send it. Okay, I'll take this one. So maybe it doesn't.
Okay, is there any public comment on the dog ordinance? Okay, moving on, talk of service charge for off dump days, which I think is a good idea. How many times does Charlie have to go out there and let somebody in to dump their stuff?
Last week he went nine trips on Wednesday.
9 trips? That's crazy.
You can't get them to line up.
I know that in off-season, meaning not June, July, or August, you know, I had to take some garbage out, and he said that most people would schedule an appointment on Wednesday if they had anything to take out, which I did do that time. But that is an exception to it, because that's not the normal hours for that, is that correct?
Correct. Well,
So only during the winter months, or the
during winter months, there are no normal hours because it's not open.
So then where did that fill in, or when I went out on Wednesday to drop some junk, stuff off? I
Well, remember I'd asked the council at that time what we should do, and you guys all agreed
I wasn't on the
pick it.
council at that time, I don't think.
Well, I don't remember who was on the
Yeah.
council, but the council suggested to pick one day and make that your designated day, so that's what we did.
I think Jack's question is now that going to be an off day and get charged extra even though the dump's closed no matter what, because it's winter? How that is.
I see what you're saying. So so if we agreed to do a charge, you're saying maybe not on the winter months.
Well, I was wondering how that was gonna float, how that was gonna float, or would you even need to worry about it during the summer, because it's only on Saturdays? Unless they have a specialty, and then that's where an additional fee would come in, but I was trying to figure out why it's,
Or what if,
okay, part of the year, but it's not, okay, the other.
or what if we did it the other way, we just did Wednesdays for the winter months, and didn't have it at all in the summer, and they can bring their stuff on a scheduled Saturday, when is our,
Or we just took Wednesday, then there's 2 hours on Wednesday you're out there,
yeah,
instead of.
Just say
Right,
that, got
just-
these hours on Wednesday and
8 to noon, you know what I mean, 8 to noon or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And we can't do that because Charlie's got to mow and take care of the park.
But I mean, you would know if someone's coming out and then,
Or just say that, those are the hours you can only schedule, you know what I mean, or to call Charlie, I mean.
Well, as soon as you do that, you're gonna have one at 8 and one at 11, and now Charlie's tied up the whole time. Then he's gonna have to work overtime to keep up with his mowing.
Well, but isn't that the definition of schedule? So if you say you have.
What I'm saying is we can't afford to have that long of a schedule.
I got what
Without-
you're saying.
Well, we could
I
just
got-
say 2 hours.
But if you said to Charlie, if you said to people, you have to schedule on Wednesday, and Charlie schedules it, 8, 9, and 10, 8, 8:30, and 8:45. You have to schedule it on Wednesday.
I
Then
got
he
that
could
right,
schedule it, and then he wouldn't be stuck out there.
Yeah.
He would schedule
Let's
it.
just not do it. We're open 2 Saturdays a month.
I mean, every other town I've lived in, that's exactly what you did. If you can't make it on these dates,
Then you gotta keep it.
sorry.
Yeah. And you know, like maybe down the road, if we wanted to change to like a winter or something, like a Wednesday or, you know what I mean? Then we could.
Once the dump's closed,
I think so, yeah.
we could probably do that because Charlie's not gonna be mowing.
Right.
That during that.
But we should just take it away in the summer. I mean, just, you got the Saturdays to deal with and that's the end of it.
Just whenever
Except you
people call in,
have
tell
people
them.
that build for a living in this town.
They're
And
supposed to
that's
get a
the problem.
dumpster. They charge for one.
We have
It's almost
signs out
impossible to
there
get a
that say
dumpster.
I
you're
know.
not supposed to take construction garbage out there.
Yeah.
Where are you supposed to take it?
You can
Close down.
get a dumpster.
Oh.
Is it a dumpster? Yeah.
Fire hall, that's a good one. Park.
Yeah, down the park.
Not the park, especially.
Fire hall.
Fire hall's a good one.
Go down, out in
Used
front
it
of the
just
gate.
the other day.
I think you better publicize it very, very well because you have been very, very good to the people of this town and they are gonna call Charlie and then they're gonna be mad.
No, they're gonna call me.
Well, whatever, but I mean, they're gonna call the city office number because you have been very, very good to the people of this town. And so if you're gonna change that, they're gonna need some warning, I guess.
Who's the one doing the dumping or calling in for dump time?
Mostly it's people that wanna have their weekends for other things.
Well, that's,
Well, it only takes 2 weekends.
No,
And the other 2 for holidays.
maybe we close off the weekends and just do it on Wednesday.
Like during the summer, you try to be working on Saturday to mow.
yeah, I think we ought to just put a stop to it. Cause it's open twice a month, 2 Saturdays. You can hold on to it for 3 days, I mean, good God, it can't be that important.
Maybe you should change the hours. If it's what you say they wanna go somewhere on the weekend, change it to, because it's only in the afternoon, so move it to the morning. Then they can still go somewhere in the afternoon and stay overnight and go camping.
Well, in the morning, Charlie does mosquitoes and cleans the restrooms and takes the garbage out of the park.
Well, couldn't he do that in the afternoon then?
All but the restrooms probably. The restrooms are usually a mess.
If
in
that's
the
what
mornings.
those people are, I mean, I don't know, because I go on Saturday when it's open, because that's the rules, but.
But then we would have a problem of getting the word out that we've swapped our hours to mornings instead of afternoons.
You will. Yeah, you will. Especially for those of us that had a dump and we can go anytime, any day.
It'd be nice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were just a kid.
I was a kid, all the time.
So when you retire, so you'd be our dump
Nobody said
person.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So does that require action on the council?
What's that?
Does that require action of the council to stipulate the time? To take the responsibility out of Bob?
I don't, yeah, we could.
I'm just, I
it
don't
does-
know whether to vote on it or whatever now, but I mean, if we just stipulate that's what it's gonna be, whichever way that is.
Yeah, it's, if we wanna take action on it, we can go ahead and vote to stop the off-service days. They'll be open on the Saturdays that are on the,
Second and fourth Saturday, and
yep.
then the question comes back, do you wanna change it for time or just leave it as is?
I think we'll
What do
leave
you
it-
think, Bob?
Leave it as.
You're the boss.
This would be my suggestion, if you think about it for the winter, if you changed it the first day you open next summer, then everybody's all about it, they pay attention, they know. I wouldn't mess with it too much right now, but if you really think that might work, you could do it the first part next summer, when you open again.
Change it either or one.
Yeah, to change it to the mornings when you open again next summer, people will pay attention to that.
So,
You're right now it's gonna
But if we left it as is and just said Saturdays only,
Yep.
second and fourth Saturday, that's the only time it's gonna be open.
And that would fix. The other issue is when Charlie goes out on Saturday, there's sometimes he'll sit there from 1 to 5 and have 2 customers. So that would fix that.
But that's, I mean, I sit sometimes in my office and nobody calls me. I mean, that's what you do as a public official, public municipality. You're there to serve the public if they show up.
He was just saying if we eliminate the
Wednesday.
off hours.
Right, it might pick it up, and it might not.
Instead of 9 people, 11 people will show up on Saturday. That'd be a better deal.
So,
Make a motion to go just to Saturdays.
Do we have to bring that up next meeting?
No, we
Well,
got, we
you
can
can
motion
vote.
and take action on it right now if we want to.
I move that we just change the dump time from, on Saturdays, the second and fourth Saturday of the month, from 1 to 5, like it has been, and discontinue any other times.
Okay. Second.
Been a motion made and seconded to, set the dump days on Saturdays, the 2nd and 4th, or 1st and 3rd, or whatever it is.
Second and fourth.
2nd and 4th, and, no other dump time. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passing unanimous. Okay, another safety utilities. I
8
believe.
got put on there accidentally twice,
Oh,
Sarah
okay.
said.
I thought maybe that was that couch.
Yeah, what was that other email?
Can't we use this to talk about that couch?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use that one to talk about the couch.
What is that about?
There was another email sent, council meeting update sent this morning. There's update on June claims and then couch pictures. I have no idea.
Somebody just left a
Couch
couch
at the dump.
at the,
Oh, because the dump wasn't open, huh?
Yeah.
yeah, there are a couple
And
of
just
tires
about
on
the
it.
time we get to this point, then we'll.
2 tires on it.
That was to hold cushions down.
Do we know who did it?
Yes.
Paul's
We have the original Facebook
Paul
post.
Mergen.
But
Who?
wait a minute,
It's not
it's
the
not the
same
same couch.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Oh, yeah.
We have several pictures, Johnny. It's the exact
You can
couch.
look at this picture here, it's not the same couch.
Are you looking in the dumpsters?
No, it doesn't matter in the dumpster. See, look here. So the couch on Paula's post, if you look at the arm on it, it's just like a regular couch, but you look at that couch that was left out of the dump, it's got a little step to it. See? That's completely different from Paula's post.
Well, Paul's got the big pictures here.
So, same thing.
We'll look under.
Now, so you can see this couch here by the dump. It's got this, where the arm comes down like into a ledge. And then you go to Paula's post, it's not even the same couch.
Go back one time, John.
But whatever's in the dumpster,
Go back one more. So that cushion with the L on it, that's the center cushion, that cushion would come
but I'm
out.
saying this arm.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Look at the tear in the left cushion. It's the same exact tear in both pictures.
that's a center cushion.
You're still not gonna, oh, I got ya.
Yeah,
No, but it's
so
not-
that's missing that.
But it's not the
Let's
same
look
back. Look at it now.
There is,
Apart.
there is a tear, you'd have to flip that. The tear in this looks like a,
It's a different couch. You bet.
oh, wait a
You
minute.
want a couch?
This would be the cushion that goes over there.
I see it now.
But
I see
that
it.
tear does look different. But that step is because of the cushion being out of place.
Right.
So, well, maybe we should ask Paula Murny.
Yeah.
Because Charlie took several pictures on his phone. I just submitted these, but I'm pretty sure that tear in the left cushion is exact same as in both pictures.
Is there feet?
So what would that be considered, littering?
Yep.
Well, be theft of services.
What's that?
Theft of services.
Well, if we threw it in the dumpster,
Yeah,
I guess it would be littering if they just left it on the side of the road.
right,
They didn't break into the dump and throw it away.
right.
True.
So they just left on the side of the road, so it's like abandonment litter, you know, or whatever you wanna call it.
County road, maybe we could have the county take this one.
Yeah. Yeah, idea, litter.
And cops got just in time before going out.
Is it still there?
No, we put it in the dumpster.
Material does look different. Maybe you just got a little bit more material.
Well,
But I see it.
You see it too.
Why, that's not the first time that's happened. Bob, that's not the first time this has happened.
Take 5, I get to move back.
Did you ladies get my email changed?
You wanna cut it?
Because I didn't get this newer email.
I don't know anything about it needing to be changed. That would be a Sarah
I
thing.
told Sarah,
Okay, but she
Yesterday
didn't
morning,
tell
I
me,
and
so,
I put it on the paperwork, she said, put it on that one sheet. Because if you send it the old one, I can't have access anymore.
okay.
Because I dropped my phone number, therefore I lose that email account.
So you will have to ask Sarah. So I don't know anything about
Okay.
that.
I just trying to make sure that I get it for the future. Thank you. You could email her from the email address you want to use. That might work. Or you could just call her. Well, I gave her the information yesterday. Oh, okay. I was just trying to make sure that it gets changed. 'Cause I checked it 5 times today to make sure there wasn't anything new coming out, so. It might take a minute. I know that when we swapped clerks last time, they started sending it to my old email, and I was like, how come I'm not getting my packet? I said, we sent it. So we'll get it fixed by the next couple of meetings. Come on.
It's the tires that are throwing you off, John.
No, I just can't believe it. It's just,
The part that amazes me is they did it in the daylight. If I was gonna do
Well,
it.
they probably thought they were going to the dump,
No,
and then realized, oh, we're not going to the dump. Well, here, we'll just put it, isn't that right outside the dump?
yes, but it wasn't on a dump day. It was,
Right, but they probably didn't know. That's all. They probably don't know there's dump
It's all
days.
just on Wednesday.
Wouldn't you want to charge them a littering
Is
fee
that-
and
is
the
that
dump
two-
fee for that
this
couch
is
though?
3 cushions?
Because I mean,
we'll
if-
definitely charge them the dump.
I think if we
Yeah.
put it in the dump, it should be the dump fee, but
Yeah.
then for the tires and the couch. That would be up to the sheriff's office if they want to cite them for littering. But we need to get paid for our dump.
service.
I'm trying to think like a lawyer. So we see the post that they were gonna give it away.
Yeah,
All they have to do is say we gave it away.
yeah. And they might, but we don't know until we try.
You just ask them.
Put a sign on the gate, $500 for leaving stuff without permission.
What are you singing, Brent, or what?
Yeah.
You think that's a viable, way to go about that couch thing?
About the what?
About the couch thing? Did you get the pictures of the couch sitting outside the gate at the dump?
Yeah, I was looking for them just a minute ago, and I don't know if I got those.
Oh, okay. We had a person put a couch
Yes,
on,
yes, you-
to get it?
Couch and 2 tires, wasn't it?
3.
Right.
yeah, let me, if you just sent it, let me see. Yeah, I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, the scenario was there was a lady put a couch on social media to give away, and the next thing you know, it's sitting outside the gate at our dump area.
Okay.
And we were gonna send the sheriff down to talk to her to see if they put it off there, or they're gonna give them some kind of a story that they gave it away and the other people took it out there.
Yeah.
But I think I should.
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable approach to me.
Okay, I'll take the pictures up to the sheriff's office and give them to them, let them handle it. Okay. Okay, moving on. Is there any public comment on that item of the agenda? Okay, moving on. Report of the Public Works Director.
So the aftermath from the rodeo was great, no issues at all. So
It's working.
the meeting was worthwhile.
Except the screen events I got into this morning, guys.
Oh, okay.
There is a website for high school rodeo. I think it's out of Miles City. I was gonna bring it up and I forgot to.
These guys, I mean, they did a good job down there this time. There was no forces and stuff. Well, there was, but Mitch took care of it after we got over and talked to Mitch about my attitude. Not a big deal.
Sewer project should be wrapped up next week. Plan is to start trimming trees next. Then I was just curious, I don't know, I know it's been hectic in here, but don't know if our budget's set, what my budget is. July 1 was supposed to be when raises are approved. We're all concerned about that. I know Chip's been very patient with his deal, but he's about to run out of patience.
Okay. Yeah, well, the budget hasn't, I don't think it's even been started yet. I'm sure, well, it's probably been started, but I'm sure it's not final yet. But I can get on Sarah tomorrow and find out where that's at. And of course, the pay is all retro anyway, so we'll get that straightened out when we get the pay increases figured out.
That's all I have.
Okay, Sarah's gone. Apparently she had to go to Billings. Report of the attorney, what do you got for us, Brent?
Well, a few things here. I think the mayor's aware that we're finally going to have a closing on the railroad property sale to Boyd Burroughs tomorrow morning. Sweetgrass Title is coordinating that. I've reached out to Civic Plus, the company that is going to do the complete revision, recodification, etc. of the city's code, and I think I'm going to see if I can coordinate either a Zoom meeting or a conference call with Sarah Laurie, and I think Jody, it would be helpful for Jody to be on that too. So when Sarah gets back tomorrow, I'll try to give her a call and see if I can coordinate some dates, primarily to get the next steps and to make sure that we have sent everything that Civic Plus needs. And then that segues into this whole dog ordinance thing. I do have a couple of questions. I think I see what happened, but I'm not sure. And so, Mayor, I may get with you and or Sarah on that. And I am going through Harlowton tomorrow afternoon to attend a Judith Gaptown meeting. So I realize that the office is closed to the public on Wednesdays. but, Mayor, if you've got a few minutes, I might talk to you a little bit about the dog ordinance, to make sure I fully understand, the issue. I thought I did, but after hearing discussion tonight, maybe I don't. Several criminal cases still pending, and, Mayor, while we were meeting, I sent you the final signed and codified version of HB 355, and Section 4 there that I've highlighted gives the types of projects that you can get the grant funds and the 25% matching. And it sounded like also that you were going to consider leasing some property, and you do have an ordinance about leasing property. It's the only one under Title 16, which is clear at the bottom or end of your municipal code, at least the online version. So, Mayor, if you have a few minutes tomorrow when I come through town, I could talk to you at least about the dog ordinance and maybe about this sewer backup issue as well.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Yeah, I'll be in a board meeting until around 3. Are you gonna be here before then or after that?
I could certainly hang out there. I need to be at Judith Gap by 4:30, and so I think it's about a 20-minute drive. So yeah, if we could meet for a few minutes, like 3:15, 3:30, that'd be great.
Okay.
And I'll just give you a buzz on your cell if that's all right.
Okay. How you doing on that site title?
Well, I have called a guy by the name of Craig Erickson and emailed him, called him twice, emailed him, and I haven't heard from him. So I'm going to go to the second person on your list that you sent me, a guy by the name of Joel Pilcher.
Yeah.
And I'm just about finished, but I had a couple of questions for them. So I'm kind of wondering if this Erickson person still works for Great West.
I'm sure he does. He's
I'm
the
going to
boss.
call Mr. Pilcher after we're done tonight and see if he can help me.
Yeah, Joel's probably the one to get a hold of. Craig's the owner of Great West.
Okay. Well, maybe that explains why. But yeah, I left, I think, 1 or 2 voicemails and at least 1 email to him. So I'll try Mr. Pilcher.
Okay, sounds good. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay,
The only other thing Sarah wanted you guys to know is as of July 1st, we are now posting our recordings to our webpage of all the council meetings.
yep, thank God we don't have to do the TV thing.
Oh, come on, that'd be nice.
And we have 5 business days to get it done from the day of the meeting.
Okay. Got some, are you done, Brent?
Yes, I am.
Okay, is there any public comment on the report of the attorney? Okay. We got some, wind impact funds awarded. The city of Harlow got, $1,018 for a project. What project is that, Susan?
That was to the weeds, that Chip was actually gonna go to a state training.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So this covers his meals, his mileage, and his rooms. There was a match required, although it was an in-kind match, there was no real criteria for it. So that $1,018 should cover his mileage, a room for 4 nights, and meals at what the state rate was.
Okay.
Thank you, Susan.
And Jawbone Creek Country Club got, I believe, 1,800. And I'm not sure what their project
That
is.
was to the fence along the south.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
On the driving range along the south side, if they had enough money to put a tree fence across the west and then about 30 feet down on the south side, and then they ran out of money, so they stopped that project about 3 years ago. And now, because they degraded that barbed wire, there's no fence. I mean, there's chunks of that are open. So hopefully they'll finish. That was a Kent Heron bid to finish the fence to the airport road.
And that's just barbed wire.
Well, they were gonna try to make it pretty, the whole rest of the way, so I'm not sure what that was about. I got the bid from Dean.
Oh.
He could have better told you. I wrote the grant, but he actually told me the amount of money. So, and that
Trucks
has,
they ended up put chain link all the way.
yeah, it would be nice to post chain link all the way to the airport road. Or at least all the way to where that gate is, that access gate that's down by the airport road.
Mhm.
But right now, that access gate is down, and there's 2 chunks of barbed wire that are down. Kids could drive 4-wheelers all over it if they wanted to. It's a mess.
Okay. We do have some items for next meeting. Anybody got any other items other than ones we've already discussed?
I'm not gonna be here, I'll be on vacation,
Okay.
I'll let you guys know.
This is way south, isn't it?
Yeah. Just south of Cuba.
Okay, did everybody get a chance to look over the claims?
One quick question, again, because I haven't been involved with it for quite a while, but I noticed that several of those have older dates. She said that the one that I got anyway for the bills was for ending out June. Is that correct? But I noticed some that had invoice dates of April, May.
She asked if we could approve them so that they could wrap up their.
I understand that. I was just thinking, that is that something that was either missed or just presented late or what?
I think it was presented after the fact because they wanted it approved so they could move into the new
I
fiscal.
have no problem with that. I was just curious on the dates because it didn't always follow through the current period. So. I move we pay the claims.
They all get paid sooner or later.
A second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to pay the claims. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. We are adjourned. Don't take these to the shop.
I don't know how she does it. I have no clue.
Stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there any additions or corrections